I don't know who has less faith in this remake at this point, Lionsgate or me. Either way, competition is tough. Hey y'all, SnarkyJay cosplay here. As of the time of this video's recording, we are officially 1 week out from the release of The Crow 2024, as in the remake, reboot, modern-day reimagining of a cult classic. And I've made several different videos at this point talking about this film because it happens to be my favorite movie of all time. And while dedicated shills have done their best to argue with me in the comments section and attack me on Twitter for having an opinion, my thoughts on The Crow reboot stand. See, this week, we're already seeing some screenings going on around the country. Unfortunately, none in my area that I heard of. Maybe it's in Lionsgate's best interest that I don't get my hands on that film any earlier. However, these screenings have been going on as early as Monday this week, pretty much 10 days before the film's official release. Typically, the way these things work is you go to an early screening and they tell you of a review embargo, and review embargoes usually lift 3 to 5 days before the film's official release. That's when critics and commentators and everybody else are already allowed to put out their reviews so that the public can use these reviews to decide whether or not they want to actually pay $17 a ticket to go catch this flick in person. And we're going to talk just a little bit about what folks have had to say after these preview screenings in just a minute, but what I want to analyze most of all is the fact that the review embargo for The Crow 2024 doesn't lift until August 22nd. And that might not sound like that big a deal, but the film comes out August 23rd, which leaves the public not even 24 hours to assess reviews before deciding if they want to watch The Crow on opening night. And that, to me, and historically in my analysis of Hollywood releases, goes to show that Lionsgate has zero faith in this film. But first, a word from this video's sponsor. Y'all know I'm passionate about a lot of things, but these guys are very close to the top of the list. I used to think I loved the kitties, but not the litter, until I found Pretty Litter. Pretty Litter has been a game changer in our house. Not only do the crystals in Pretty Litter absorb that kitty stink and keep my home smelling fresh, it's also essential for health monitoring, and I get it delivered right to my door. Sure, Pretty Litter saves me the hassle of going to pick up a heavy jug of litter at the store. But what I love most about it is that it helps monitor Bruce and Ivy's health. Pretty Litter is developed by veterinarians, so it helps monitor their urine for acidity and alkalinity levels outside the average range. So not only is Pretty Litter conveniently delivered to my door, it smells better than the other litter I've tried, and it helps me keep an eye on my little one's health. Pretty Litter keeps odors down, and it helps keep tabs on my cat's health. Go to prettylitter.com/SnarkyJay and use code SnarkyJay to save 20% off your first order and get a free cat toy. See, when you put out something good, you want that review embargo gone like that so that people can hear exactly how awesome your movie is. They can do the whole #1 movie in America bullshit, and they can sell everybody on the fact that your movie is the second coming of Christ and this has to be experienced in theaters. That's typically when you get these 5 and 4 and 3 day out review embargo lifts, so that the good word can be spread about this movie and people will go and see it. When you have a review embargo that lifts literally the afternoon before, that's when you know you're putting out a piece of shit that's going to get roasted. And for context, allow me to notify you guys that the review embargo for the first 2 episodes of The Acolyte also released literally the afternoon before the series came out. That's how that worked out. It had that close a margin. And I don't think I need to remind anybody on this channel how atrocious The Acolyte was. So Disney gave that one a really late review embargo lifting, and Lionsgate is basically doing the exact same thing with The Crow. Now, a lot of people will come out and say that that film was unfairly dogged from its conception because of the love for the original, and I know that I'm not exactly one to speak. The original movie has been my favorite and my ultimate obsession for over 13 years now, so I'm not exactly the most unbiased opinion. However, I did for a very long time live with the belief that if they did a very true to comics iteration of The Crow, I wouldn't have a problem with a remake, and that's very much not what we're getting. Now, what I'm hearing out of these early preview screenings, I've seen some stuff on Reddit, I've talked personally to some acquaintances of mine that I know ended up seeing the screenings in other parts of the country. And the trend that I'm sort of seeing so far is the following. If you have no connection to the original, it's like goth John Wick. People that have no connection to the original will probably enjoy it. Now, I've also talked to people that said that the first 2 acts are incredibly lackluster, and then it sort of becomes John Wick without guns at the end, which could please a certain part of the audience. I know for a fact it's not my thing, and it's also not what I expect out of a The Crow film at all. But the consensus from what I've seen so far is it's either fantastic as a standalone film, or it's genuinely just terrible. Regardless of its connection to the original or not, it seems like all the good parts essentially kick off towards the end. Now, I haven't seen it yet personally. My thoughts about this film have already been put out into the universe continuously. I think this looks like absolute crap. I think the dialogue sounds off. I think turning The Crow into a John Wick type thing makes 0 sense. I think the fact that everybody involved with production keeps trying to make this look like it's an indie film when they've literally said they want to turn it into a franchise and it's remade for a modern audience. It's basically a cash grab that not only desecrates the legacy of the original, but it also is a disrespect to the legacy of Brandon Lee. I would also argue it's a disrespect to James O'Barr, because James O'Barr's original story was not a cash grab. It was born out of the love that he had for his girlfriend slash fiance, who was also taken from him too soon. And now we live in a world where every trailer for this movie is basically cut where you can cut it onto TikTok perfectly, and they're also doing ASMR to promote it, and I wish I was kidding.
Hi, I'm FK Twix.
And I'm Bill Skarsgård.
And today we're going to do some crow ASMR. And a feather feels like. Smells like blackberries.
The Crow in theaters on August 23rd.
Personally, I think this one is dead in the water. It doesn't look unique enough to stand alone, and in terms of reining in the excitement of dedicated Crow fans, most of us feel like this looks like absolute shit, and a lot of people very much feel like it goes against the legacy of the original, so I don't think that they're gonna be able to bank on people that love the original and the source material to go and fill the seats for this. But as of the time of this video's recording, we are a week out from the release of this remake, reboot, reimagining, whatever you want to call it. I don't have a lot of nice words to put to it. I didn't want to give these people my money, but one of my kind subscribers literally Venmo'd me $40 so that I could go watch this and I could get popcorn. So I already bought my tickets this morning, and next Thursday I will be watching the movie, and you can expect my review by the same night. And before anybody starts dogging me, I am going to have a special guest to give me their opinion so that it's not just me and my Crow-obsessed bullshit. We will have a third party that is perhaps not as dedicated to the cause as I am. And that's all from me. I've been SnarkyJay. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. For more SnarkyJay, feel free to check me out on Instagram, and if you'd like to support me, this channel, and my content creation, do check out and consider subscribing to my Patreon for exclusive photo shoot sets and cosplay content. I will add links to all of those in the description below, and let me know your thoughts on The Crow reboot in the comments below.